fly around of the Soyuz in the vicinity of the International Space Station will begin. This will be about a 51-degree fly around of the International Outpost to precisely align the Soyuz and its forward docking probe with the Prishal node module. That is the port of call today for Soyuz and its 3 occupants. The Prishal module is on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. Once contact and capture begins, the docking probe will be retracted to form a flush surface between the Soyuz and the Prishal module docking port. A period of relative motion will dampen out between the 2 vehicles before hooks are closed on both sides of the docking interface, first the Soyuz, then the Prishal hooks, to form a hard mate between the 2 vehicles. A series of leak checks will ensue on both sides of the docking interface, with hatches scheduled to open at around 12:40 p.m. Central Time this afternoon, 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time. That will allow Dyson, Novitsky, and Vasilevskaya to float aboard the International Space Station. Once the hatches are open this afternoon, there'll be a brief opportunity for some welcoming remarks by the crew as they talk to dignitaries who will be gathered in the balcony at the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov. There'll also be words from spacecraft communicator Kosta Mavridis here in Mission Control up to Tracy Dyson. The Expedition 70 crew, as you see from left to right, includes...
We hardly copy you, Moscow.
Дальность 9,5, скорость минус 13,4.
And the Expedition 70 crew, which will transition to Expedition 71 in about 12 days, includes Alexander Grabenkin of Roscosmos, Tracy Dyson, Mike Barrett, Nikolai Chub, Matt Dominic. The station commander is Oleg Kononenko, and NASA astronaut Jeanette Epps. Laurel O'Hara, who is not pictured here with the Expedition 71 crew, is because she will be departing on April 6th with Oleg Novitsky and Marina Vasilevskaya. Novitsky and Vasilevskaya basically are a taxi crew. Vasilevskaya is flying under an intergovernmental agreement between Roscosmos and Belarus to conduct experiments on behalf of Belarus researchers. On April 6th, they will depart in the Soyuz MS-24 spacecraft that is attached to the Rosviet module on the space-facing side, also on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station. O'Hara will be departing on April 6th with them, and they will be heading for a parachute-assisted landing on the steppe of Kazakhstan on April 6th. For O'Hara, it will be the completion of a 204-day mission aboard the International Space Station. Novitsky and Vasilevskaya will have spent 12 days in space. Novitsky began the mission to the International Space Station on Saturday. On this, his 4th flight into space, already having accrued 531 days in space, which is now 533 days of an aggregate total. We're about 21 minutes away from the fly around by the Soyuz of the International Space Station. Again, this will be about a 51-degree fly around to precisely align the Soyuz with the docking port on the Prishal module, the node module that is attached to the multi-purpose laboratory module on the Earth-facing side of the Russian segment of the International Space Station.
Station Moscow,
We have
Station 1
closed
for
the
Nikolai regarding
transmitter
the
now.
recording activation.
This is the view of the control panel in the Soyuz MS-25 spacecraft, a brief view of some of the telemetry that Novitsky, Dyson, and Vasilevskaya are looking at in the descent module of the three-section Soyuz spacecraft. Novitsky is Soyuz commander, flying under the call sign of Kazbeki, which is named after a mountain range in Russia. He is in the center seat of the descent module, flanked to his right by Dyson and to his left by Vasilevskaya.
Range is now 7 kilometers. Range rate
Soyuz is 7 kilometers away from the International Space Station, closing in perfect fashion right now for what is expected to be an on-time docking about 43 minutes from now.
Recording function.
A short time ago, the Corps' automated rendezvous system on both the Soyuz, which is the active system, and on the Zvezda service module, which is the passive system. This is the automated rendezvous system, basically radio beacon capability that bounces signals back and forth to update the Soyuz computers with the best navigational data that is available on the range of the Soyuz to its destination on the Prishal module and the rate of closure. All of those tests went by the books. The Corps' automated system is what will guide the Soyuz for an automated docking to the Prishal module. If in the unlikely event there's a problem with Corps, it will fault over to Novitsky, who will fly the Soyuz in manually for a docking. But so far, the Corps is hanging in good shape, as it usually does, with no issues being reported. All of the other Soyuz systems are in perfect shape.
Дальность 6 километров, скорость минус 9.
Moscow ISS, the recording is on. Copy, thank you.
range is 6 kilometers. Range rate -9.
Range rate
You
negative
are
4.6.
continuing to hear the 1,500 meters now separating Soyuz from the station, closing at a rate of 4 meters per second. Again, that rate will slow down as planned to enable not only the fly around, but a very, very brief period of station keeping, allowing the Russian flight controllers in Korolyov to assess the alignment of the forward docking probe with Prishal before the final command is issued for terminal approach and contact and capture.
Продолжается работа ДПО.
Depot is still firing.
Дальность 900.
Range
минус 2,5.
940. Range rate -2.5.
941 meters now separating the two craft, closing at a rate of just under 4 meters per second. Once again, the population of the space station will increase from 7 to 10 with the arrival today of Dyson, Novitsky, and Vasilevskaya for the next 12 days until Novitsky and Vasilevskaya depart in Soyuz MS-24 on April 6th with NASA astronaut Laurel O'Hara headed for a parachute-assisted landing on the station.
Romeo 5 command once.
И можно опять развернуть.
And you can rotate again.
Так, дальность 700 метров. скорость
700 meters, range rate -2.4, and close it.
About 3.5 minutes away from the start of the fly-around by the Soyuz.
Fired. Copy. 742.12, depot off OFF.
And the Impulse 6 burn, again a small firing by the Soyuz thrusters of about 12 seconds in duration. Impulse 6 again fine-tunes the Soyuz path to the station, a pre-planned burn. The International Space Station has maneuvered into the docking orientation. All systems are in great shape to receive the Soyuz MS-25. That should have been the final mid-course correction burn.
Range rate -1.6 and closing.
1.5 meters per second is the closure rate.
Дальность 500, скорость -1.
500 meters, range rate -1.6.
Дальность 460.
Range 460. Range rate -1.5 and closing. -1.4 closing.
Принято.
Copy.
And this view from the external cross-haired engineering camera on the Soyuz MS-25 at the very bottom are the distance, 375, 374 meters, separating Soyuz from the station, and the closure rate of 1.1 meters per second.
Дальность 360.
360 meters. -0.9 is the range rate. Copy.
Time for an expected docking about 23.5 minutes from now. We've passed out of range between satellites on our tracking and data relay satellite system. We'll regain that downlink video capability a short time from now. And we're now back with our downlink television from the space station, looking square on to the Soyuz MS-25. The station and the Soyuz flying 260 statute miles over Morocco, just south of Casablanca.
Дальность
280 meters separating the two vehicles. The fly-around is continuing, closing at a rate of 0.6 of a meter per second. With a view of the Soyuz from external cameras on the International Space Station. The fly-around of about 51 degrees underway. If required, there'll be a very brief period of station keeping where the Soyuz will halt its approach to the station, allowing a brief period of analysis by the Russian flight controllers in Korolyov before the command is given to press ahead for final approach, contact, and capture.
140, rate 0.35 and closing. Copy. range 230, rate 0.24 and closing. Copy.
Station Houston on safety ground 1 for shutters and PWD last call.
Так, курс перешел в причал. Олег, также
Курс
контролируйте загорание
причал.
транспаранта К-15.
Monitor parameters in advance.
Подтверждаю, курс перешел в режим причал.
Yes.
К-15 пока
Курс
не
причал.
217.
Range 217. Range rate 0.17 and closing.
Soyuz right on the money during its fly around.
K-15 причал. Executed. Roll maneuver.
Олег, ожидаем за...
Oleg, stand by for Zavcon. Standing by for Zavcon.
Aboard that vehicle you're looking at, the Soyuz MS-25, NASA's Tracy Dyson, Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitsky, and Marina Vasilevskaya, about 19 minutes away from reaching their destination following what so far has been a flawless two-day journey since their launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on Saturday.
Monitor Bruce and turn on Parus.
Вас понял.
Copy.
Так, есть Завкон.
Zavcon confirmed.
Включаем подсветку ВСК.
Turning on VSK backlight. Copy.
And at a range of about 175 meters, the Soyuz now has begun a very, very brief period of station keeping.
Включаем фару.
Turning floodlights on.
Так, фара включена.
Floodlight is on. Copy.
Причал в форматах движения.
Oleg, and you can send reach-out command,
Я понял, что
final approach command from the rendezvous screen. Copy. I'm setting up the screen.
And the command has been issued to initiate final approach. All of the Soyuz systems in excellent shape. This again is an automated approach. Soyuz being guided into the Prishal node module under the guidance of the Core's automated rendezvous system.
Can I send command from the rendezvous display? 175234. Pre-chow or final approach command is sent. Copy. Range 145. Center. Range copy. 0.8.
как меня слышно?
How copy?
This view from the Soyuz, now over Russian ground stations. From the external cross-haired engineering camera, the distance in the lower left-hand corner you see at about 125 meters, closing at a rate of about 0.6 of a meter per second. Looking down the barrel of the Prishal node module.
Target is in the center. Angular size matches the range. Range 100. Range rate 0.53. The target is by 0.5 degrees to the right.
100 meters separating Soyuz from the station. Everything is nominal. Soyuz operating flawlessly. The station systems in good shape, ready to accept the arrival of the new crew.
0.4 and closing. The target is in the middle, in the center. Range 82, range rate 0.4. A target is practically in the center.
The course is operating perfectly. The docking target almost in the middle of those crosshairs. It will align so that the docking target just below the docking port itself should be in the center of those crosshairs. 70 meters now separating Soyuz and Prishal.
Range rate 0.35 and closing. Angular size matches the range.
Уменьшение практически в центре. Так, ожидаем касания.
Standing by for contact.
Касание, индикатор режим механская единственная есть.
And we have contact and we have capture.
Capture confirmed.
Docking confirmed at 10:03 a.m. Central Time, 11:03 a.m. Eastern Time, as Soyuz and the International Space Station flew 260 miles over central Kazakhstan. The Monday morning commute of Tracy Dyson, Oleg Novitsky, and Marina Vasilevskaya successfully completed. And the docking probe on Soyuz has now begun to retract.
Отключаем фару С-18.
Deactivating the light.
Фара выключена.
Light is off, OFF. And closing the RPV-1 valve.
Вас понял.
Once again, Dyson, Novitsky, and Vasilevskaya have arrived at the International Space Station with a flawless docking at 10:03 a.m. Central Time, 11:03 a.m.
And in the
Post-contact systems checks being performed by Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitsky, as you see the view of the front screen in the International Space Station Flight Control Room at the Russian Mission Control Center outside of Moscow.
Разрешите отключить телевидение формата ТВС.
Do we have a go to deactivate the video mode after the test is complete? Yes, you have a go. And now you are working for page 81. Just a reminder. Yes, copy.
The docking probe has retracted, enabling the two docking interfaces between Soyuz and the station to be flush against one another. This will begin the initiation of the closing of the hooks. The hooks are now powered on, ready to clamp around one another. First, the Soyuz hooks will be closed, followed by the Prishal hooks to form a hard mate between the two vehicles.